So this is for the shadow knockout so that you can do the names on top of the um, last name. So I'm going to go ahead and add my last name in here. Going to be a little generic today. And then I'm going to go ahead and change to the Times New Roman. I like this font. A lot of people like Impact. I just think that Times New Roman has a little bit more character, so that's what I'm going to use. And then I'm going to unlock this. I'm actually going to change the letter spacing before I move it. I'm going to change it to 0. You're going to watch those letters just close up on each other. And then now I'm just going to kind of move it around. When you use that unlock, you can kind of size it however you want. It doesn't stay with the same proportions, so you can kind of manipulate it to look the way you want. So I'm going to lock that now that I'm happy. I'm going to add in the overlay text. I'm going to keep it in the same font so that you can see the characters that I'm using here. So I'm going to use the bracket, that's the swish at the beginning, and then the underscore in the middle is the heart, and then we're going to use the opposite bracket at the end so that we can make that extra swish. So we've got the heart, and then we're going to change this to glitter. I love glitter. And there we have it. We have our swishes and our hearts. And now we just need to kind of connect all of this together. So instead of moving it manually, I'm just going to drop this to a negative 0.5 in the letter space. And that's going to move them all in. Usually you'll have one or two that isn't quite right. So like you see here between the swish and the J. So we're just going to go ahead and ungroup those. Slide that little swish in. And now everything looks pretty good. So I'm just going to grab everything and I'm going to weld it. Be sure to weld it, not attach. If you attach after you ungroup, it's going to cut each and every letter individually instead of cutting it as one piece. So now we're going to take this up here. We're also going to grab, after we've made it kind of the size we want, we'll go ahead and grab the Smith, and then we're going to hit align and center everything. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn this into a print file. We're not actually going to print, but this is how we're going to get our shadow knockout. So we're going to attach these, and then we're going to make this smaller down there. That number there that I just circled needs to be below a 9 because you have a limited space when you do print and cut. And now we're going to hit make it. And you can see we have that John and Mary cut out. So we're going to hit continue, print, even though we're not really going to print. And now you see this bleed feature. Make sure the bleed feature is on. That's what's going to give us that shadow effect. Let's go ahead and hit print. And my printer isn't even hooked up. We're not actually going to print this. But we're going to go ahead and capture this. If you're on a Mac, that's Shift, Command, and 4. And then that will give you the option to just capture a portion of the screen. So we're going to grab the portion that we want. Cancel. And then we're going to cancel out of the print and cut area as well. Now the first thing we do when we get back in here is we're going to grab that John and Mary and we're going to turn it back into a cut file. Now real quick, I'm just going to minimize my screen here and I'm going to grab that file that I just made, that John and Mary. And then I'm going to take that and I'm just going to rotate it so that it's the right way when I go to import it into Design Space. So going to go back into Design Space and we're going to hit upload. And upload is going to allow us to grab that image that we just turned around. And we're just going to import it as a simple image. It's not fancy. We just need to clean it up a little bit. So we're going to use our little wand here and we're going to click on our lines and eliminate them. We'll just go around and do that all the way around. Sometimes they're a little annoying to grab those. Make sure and you just saw me grab, I unintentionally hit the gray space, but we need to clear that out. This one's being stubborn with me. I'm just going to hit that. And because it's not clearing out here, I'm just going to grab my eraser and just erase down that last little line. All right, just be careful when you do that you don't hit into the image. And you see over there, there's a couple little dots. I'm just going to leave them there. Ah, they actually were not there. So if you do have any dots around on the outside, just hit the back button. Make sure you don't hit cancel, hit the back button, and you can go back and continue to clean up. And we're just going to click on the cut image and save that. And now we can click on that and insert the image. And there it is. And so I'm going to grab this and see, it's just under 9 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one and make it about 9 inches. All right. Next thing, I'm going to grab this and I'm going to change the color just so that we can see it a little bit better and see what's going on. And then I'm also going to grab it and hit arrange and bring it to the front so that it'll be on top of my shadow. And then I'll grab both that and my shadow, and using the align, I'll center them to see if they fit. We're off just a little bit, so I'm just going to grab the John and Mary that's in the orange, and I'm just going to resize it ever so slightly. Here we go. And just going to move it over just a little bit and then slide it out just a little bit more. There we go. Perfect fit. All right, so now I'm going to set that aside for a minute. I'm going to take that shadow that we created, grab the Smith, hit the align, and I'm going to center it. And now I'm going to hit, while they're still attached, I'm going to hit the slice button down here. And what it's going to do is it's going to cut everything out. So we're going to grab that John and Mary. See how it's just in pieces? So we are going to, as we pull each piece out, we're going to delete it. Grab this, delete that. Now there's one more section to find. There we go. That cutout, we're going to click that. And now we have our shadow knockout. Okay, so we're going to grab the John and Mary. Grab the Smith, align in the and center it. And then we're going to go ahead and change that back to black. See how it looks. Looks pretty good. So what we're going to do is grab both of those, attach, and we'll just weld those together. So we have our final product. And we can just go ahead and slide that out. Now you have a perfectly centered shadow knockout. All done within Design Space. You never had to leave it, go to Inkscape or anything like that. So hopefully that was short and sweet and easy to follow, and I hope you have fun with it. Let me know if I can help with any questions.